I'm Cindy Brown and everybody keto. Welcome to week number 3 of my Keto Chic vlog. Guys, I am really hoping and praying someday that I'll just have a normal keto week to talk to you guys about, but this one is going to be a little quirky. We've got a really cool, massive keto haul, and we have some post-surgery updates to talk about. So guys, there's a lot to get into, so let's get started right now. So hello, Keto Chic guys and gals. Today is day number 2 of my recovery. You guys saw yesterday that I had an epidural in my spine, and honestly, I was a little worried about how my whole keto program would go. I talked to the doctors a little bit. There is some like water retention stuff that happens with the anesthesia. And guys, I really feel tired today, but I wanted to, I made a commitment that I was going to do this every week for you guys. So here we are, and we took a little trip to Whole Foods today. And I did a majorly massive snack haul that I'm going to share with you all today. Alright, so we have Parm Crisp. We have 2 different flavors. We have the original and we have sesame. If you're normally a peanut butter girl and you're trying to sort of explore cashew, almond, some of the different nut butters, these guys are a really great way to try them because they're sort of sample packets. And you can see that Whole Foods has 3 different brands and a bunch of different flavors. Aha! So play around a couple different kinds of protein bars. This one right on it has 6 grams of net carbs, and it's a pretty big bar. So if we only ate half of it, we'd have 3 grams. As I am almost 1 month into keto here, I am finding now, not so much that I have cravings because I'm hungry, but cravings for things that I'm missing. Things like potato chips and ice cream and just some of those kind of like things that are so off limits to us because they're not made with any kind of keto friendly ingredients, right? They're made with potatoes, they're made with sugar. One of the other things that I'm trying to do is sort of keep my life as normal as it can be with just the modifications I need to do in my meal selections. So one of the things that I'm going to talk about really quick is sort of the chips / crisp department, I guess. One of the things my husband and I do is we go to Applebee's every Wednesday night, and we would always start out with a spinach artichoke dip with tortilla chips. Now the spinach artichoke dip, I've checked all the ingredients with Applebee's, and they're pretty much everything we need. So it's got spinach, it's got artichoke, it's got cheese. The problem, guys, is the chips. What do we do with the tortilla chips? I tried a couple different scenarios over the last couple weeks. I brought in Flackers, and I'm going to tell you, the jury is really still out on Flackers. I think they're too thick. They just sort of taste, I don't know. They're not my favorite crispy snack. I did buy, and I think they're called Quisps. They are sort of a thinner Parmesan cheese or a thinner cheese cracker, which are starting to get better. I did also take my Everything Parmesan crisps, and last weekend I'm still working on it. So I got kind of a lot actually of sort of crispy chip sort of things, but thinner. I don't want something the size of like a rye crisp or the thickness of a rye crisp. So here's what we got from Whole Foods. I got 2 different kinds of Parm Crisp. You guys get these at Whole Foods. You can also get them at Amazon. I got the original flavor and I got the sesame flavor. These guys are both 0 carbs because they're pretty much just baked cheese. So those are both really good options. You can kind of eat them to your heart's content because there's no carbs at all to worry about. I also got the real coconut flour tortilla chips. Now these guys, I'm actually going to try one right now with you guys because I want to see how close we can get to a real tortilla chip. Alright, so let's take a look at these guys. I saw some good reviews for them on the internet, so they look like a tortilla chip. Now let's do the taste test. If Pringles made a tortilla chip, this is kind of what it would taste like. It's not bad. Actually, it sort of tastes like a baked Lay's, if that makes sense. Not bad. I like the crispiness. I like the thinness of them. Yeah, guys, these are a keeper. We'll put this aside, but this is pick these guys up. You can also get them online. These are definitely going with me to Applebee's to work with my spinach artichoke dip. Now, let me just tell you, you saw the size of the chip. We're looking at 15 grams of carbs for 10 chips. So that's a little high, but again, if you just want to grab a couple, and that's kind of my thing, is I just want something that sort of reminds me of pre-keto days, like when I have those kind of cravings. So this is going to be a really good option for me. The other thing that I got, I'm sort of hit or miss when it comes to pork rinds. They have sort of a, I don't know if it's the smell or the texture, but something that makes them not my favorite. Of course, Whole Foods does kind of take everything up a notch, and this is actually Epic Artisanal Pork Rinds with sea salt and pepper. So we will try these, and I will let you know what I think about these as well, if they taste any different than normal pork rinds, because they were pricier than normal pork rinds. Okay, so they still smell like pork rinds. You can see they have seasoning on them. Let's take the taste. You know what? The seasoning, guys, make a big difference. It tastes much different than the normal like $3 pork rinds I get at the grocery store. So this is another good option. It's got, of course, the good thing about pork rinds is they have those sort of good crunch and texture that makes you sort of taste like, or makes you feel like satisfied, I guess, when you eat them. So I'm liking these. So I will let you know in the description how much all this stuff costs, because again, I don't think they were necessarily cheap, but a good way to get a snacky snack flavor without having to worry about your carbs. Because again, they're pork rinds, so they are 0 carbs. Let's see what non-keto dad thinks. What do you think, babe?
I think that's amazing. It's like peppery. It's good.
Right? See? 2 thumbs up from the brown house.
It's awesome.
Try a tortilla chip, honey. See what you think.
It's a tortilla chip.
Right? It doesn't taste bad. Okay, so there you go, guys. From a guy who doesn't need to do keto and could totally like thumb his nose at this stuff, even he likes it. So let's talk about the ice cream, because guys, I need to put these guys back in the freezer before they melt. You have probably heard of Halo Top. Halo Top is really, really good, you guys. It is 14 total carbs, 3 fiber, and 5 sugar alcohol. So that's 8 minus 14, so that's 6 grams of carbs, of net carbs, for a half a cup. So 25% of this container. They have like, I don't know, 20 different flavors. I think we had a shot of the freezer aisle at Whole Foods, but I got vanilla and I got chocolate because I'm kind of a plain girl. I also have in the freezer right now salted caramel, and guys, it really tastes good. So this is a great option again when you want something sweet. I also picked up sea salt caramel enlightened ice cream bars. I like this because it's already portion controlled, right? That size is exactly the serving size. And again, this is 17 total grams of carbs with 5 fiber and 6 erythritol. So that is a net of 8. And that is for 1 bar. So looks really good. We will see how these taste. But again, sometimes that was another thing we used to do at night when we were watching TV, is just grab a little bit of ice cream and eat it, and I've missed that. So these will definitely take that place of that craving. Okay. All right, so our next...
Before you do that, can I have another pork rind, please?
Oh. He's gonna eat all my pork rinds, you guys. I guess we're going back to Whole Foods tomorrow.
I'll just take the whole bag.
Hey. All right, where were we? Toasted edamame. If you guys like crunchy, sort of like chickpea, sort of, the edamame is the way to go. Obviously, chickpeas are legumes, so they've got carbs. The toasted edamame has a total of 2 net carbs for a quarter of a cup, and that's a lot of these guys. They had different flavors. I got lightly salted, but you can get them hot and spicy, a bunch of different things. So that was another sort of noshy snack. And the last one was grass-fed beef jerky. And let me tell you what I don't like necessarily about beef jerky, is it tastes, or if the texture, the consistency, is like leather. And I'm not a big fan of like, whatever, pulling a chunk of this meat out of my mouth. But this, I don't know if you can see, but I can actually bend this beef jerky in here. So I'm very excited about it. It is 7 net carbs for 1 ounce, and there's 3 ounces in here. So for 1/3 of this package, it's 7 net carbs. And they had a bunch of different flavors. I got carne asada flavor. They had sriracha. They had mango chili, I think. But again, a bunch of different options that we can get on this. And I do like the fact that it is grass-fed. And I think that may cover all of our sort of non-sweet stuff. I did find, I've seen so much on this halloumi cheese. I think that's how you say it. People are somehow making fries out of these and they can't seem to talk enough about it, but I've never been able to find it. This little sucker was just sitting in the cheese section of Whole Foods. It is a goat and ewe milk cheese that's made in Cyprus, and it's a real firm cheese, and I believe that's why they use it for the fries, is because it will sort of fry up really well. So stay tuned. I'm going to play around with this a little bit this week and let you know how it came out. Should we talk sweets or should we talk liquids? Let's talk liquids. You know, with the keto diet, we are doing so many weird things with our body and sort of converting the way that our body works, that we need to make sure we're hydrated. And have our salt, our magnesium, and our potassium. So I grabbed a couple of drinks. The first one is Hint. Hint is a zero sweetener, 0 calorie, water infused drink. This one I got was pear. I wanted to get a little bit different than, they have grapefruit, they have citrus, they have strawberry, but pear was kind of different. And again, 0 calories, 0 carbs. And it's just a nice sort of lightly sweetened, stay out of my pork rinds, buddy.
Sorry.
Nicely sweetened water. Hang on 1 second, folks. Give me back my pork rinds. Good Lord.
What do you want me to do there? Good.
All right. I found bulletproof fat water at Whole Foods. Didn't even know this existed. It is 20 calories. It has brain octane oil in it. If you guys know anything about the Bulletproof brand, these are the guys who invented and created Bulletproof coffee. It's pineapple and other natural flavors. So I'm kind of excited to try this. It has 3 carbs in it for the whole bottle. Not a big deal, but I do like the fact that it's got the brain octane, you know, high quality MCT oil in it. So that's another cool thing they have at Whole Foods. And then guys, I found the Khalifa Farms unsweetened full shot cold brew. It has almond milk and coconut cream, and it also has 2 grams of MCT oil in it. It is a basically shake and go. We are looking at 4 total carbs, 1 fiber, 1 gram of fiber. So you're looking at 3 net carbs for this drink, but a nice way to sort of get, I guess, kind of a little bit of bulletproof, although it doesn't have any butter in it. But a little bit of a bulletproof shot on the go. The next item I got, which is not necessarily a snack food, but it is a ingredient in a snack food, let's put it that way, is the wing sauce from LCHF. And one of the things you guys need to know is when you are at Whole Foods, a lot of brands will say paleo something, paleo king, paleo preferred, whatever. Make sure you look at the nutrition information on the back, but 90% of the stuff that they sell at Whole Foods that's paleo will also work for keto. So I have a really great buffalo chicken dip that I'm going to try this week. This is going to go in it for sure. This guy has 1 gram of carbs, yeah, and no fiber. So this is 1 net carb for 1 tablespoon. Now granted, if you're going to put it in a recipe, you're only going to put maybe 3 or 4 tablespoons in there. So not a big deal. Again, just a nice ingredient in order to make snacks that I can then take my buffalo chicken dip and either use my new tortilla chips or my new pork rinds, if there's any left, and dip them. So now let's talk about the sweet tooth, shall we? Last week we talked about keto bark. I cannot say enough about that stuff. It for me is just like a sea salt dark chocolate bar. We also use the Lily's stevia chips for baking. Sometimes I'll just grab 5 or 6 of those little chips in my hand and go in my office and just kind of nosh on them. Lily's also makes chocolate bars, and they make a bunch of different kinds. So the 2 that I grabbed today are the crispy rice and the caramelized and salted. Crispy rice sort of make me think it might taste like a crunch bar. Okay, so at first glance, the nutrition label might look prohibitive to you because it says 23 total grams of carbs. But what you need to do is you need to subtract the fiber, you need to subtract the sugar alcohols. Okay, so the fiber, there's 11 grams of fiber and there are 5 grams of sugar alcohol. So that is 6 net carbs for half of a bar. Okay, and if you're like me, which most people aren't, I will just eat a square at a time over, this guy will probably last me about a week. So I can totally indulge in this chocolate without going over my carb allowance. The caramelized and salted is a little bit lower in the carb, fiber, sugar alcohol, so it comes out to be 3 net carbs for half of a bar. The thing that I really like about Whole Foods is if you're a peanut butter person, you always have been, you're a Skip or a Jiffy girl, All these nut butters are on the market now other than peanut. There's cashew, well, how do you know where to start? Whole Foods has a whole lot of individual serving size or small sample packets that you can try. So you don't have to spend $9 on a hazelnut butter to realize that you can't stand it. So I grabbed two that look kind of unique to me. I grabbed the raw walnut butter made by Artisana. And the second one I got, guys, is Justin's, which you guys have probably seen, but Justin's has a lot of flavors as well. This one is chocolate hazelnut butter. And it's nice because when you just want a little bit of something, because again, any nut butter has a sort of discretionary amount of carbs in it. So you do want to sort of watch how many you eat. But at Whole Foods, they have about, I don't know, guys, 6, 7, 8 different kinds of these. So grab a couple packets, play around with them, figure out which nut butter you like best. The Artisana is 4 net carbs for the entire packet, and there's a lot in here, so you could eat the whole thing, you could break it into one. It just asks you to sort of knead it and squeeze it before you open it because it does settle the oils. And the Justin's, because I got the chocolate and hazelnut, is a little higher. It is 12 carbs with 3 fiber, so it's like 8 grams of net carbs for the whole packet. So this one I would probably just do a little bit at a time. But that's, again, another way to sort of get a little sweet tooth handled. And the last 2 things I want to talk to you about are protein/nutrition bars. You want to be careful because a lot of them are loaded with sugar and carbs and a lot of fillers. But these are 2, and again, Whole Foods has 50 different bars maybe. So I spent a lot of time looking at these 2, and these were 2 that I picked out that I thought I would like that were not bad. The New Go Stronger is a peanut cluster bar, and it says right on it that it has 6 net carbs. That's for the whole bar. And guys, look at the size of this thing. You probably could do it as a meal replacement. I would probably like cut it in half. But again, oh, it's got whey protein. It is a whey protein bar. And the second one is a Think Thin high protein bar, plant-based. Now they have a lot of Think Thins that are not plant-based. And this one is, let's see what we got here. Sugar, alcohol is 8. Okay, so total carbs is 27. Fibers 3. Sugar, alcohol is 18. So that leaves it as 6. Again, this is also a 6 gram net carbs by the time you're done. And that's got 2 different pieces in it, so it's kind of easy to split it up. So guys, I think that's everything that I wanted to share with you on our massive Whole Foods haul today. Hey guys, if you are new here at Everybody Keto, I ask you to do me just one favor. Please just pound that subscribe button down below, and also make sure that you hit the little ringy dingy bell, because that will let you know every time we put out new content. And also, since you're new, I'm going to throw a couple videos up here that let you know what we're about, help you get started. And guys, until next time, this is Cindy at Everybody Keto, and Keto on.